The drama begins with Jackie, a young man who has just returned home after completing his duty in the army. Now unemployed, Jackie belongs to a middle-class family. His greatest dream is to move to Canada, but his father is quietly saving money in his account to buy Jackie a house after marriage instead. Frustrated by his family's constant advice about taking meaningless jobs, Jackie decides to live on his own. He rents a small room a little distance away from home. Wanting to make it look beautiful, he orders a picture to hang on the wall. But for that, he needs nails, and to hammer the nails, he needs a hammer. Unfortunately, he doesn't have one. Soon after, Jackie finds work at a small store. One night, two drunk men stumble in. One waits outside while the other approaches Jackie, asking for a pack of cigarettes. He tosses down less money than required and arrogantly demands a bottle of beer and some chakna for his friend waiting outside. Jackie follows him out and calmly says, "First give me the money, only then will I give you the goods." The drunkard grows irritated, but his companion intervenes. "Don't mind his words. Come with me, I'll pay you." After drinking, the man finally gives Jackie the money. He then tells his friend that they cannot smoke inside and drags him outside. Once they finish their beer, the two men leave. The store owner tells Jackie to go home. Jackie asks permission to borrow a hammer for one night so he can fix his painting at home. On his way back, Jackie spots one of the drunkards lying unconscious on the road. He calls out to his friend, "Your friend is lying behind the shop." But the man only shrugs. "Let him sleep. You go home." As the drunkard begins to walk away, Jackie suddenly punches him from behind. Enraged, the man turns and slaps Jackie hard across the face. He starts beating Jackie violently, shouting, "Didn't I tell you to leave? Why are you following me?" As the blows rain down, Jackie flashes back to his school days, when other children used to beat him in the same merciless way. Something inside him snaps. Trembling with rage, he pulls the hammer from his bag, the same hammer he was carrying to hang his painting, and smashes the drunkard's face. Thunder rumbles, rain pours down. The drunkard stirs as the cold water splashes across his body. He rises shakily to his feet, but crashes into the shop shutter and collapses again. Jackie stands frozen, terrified at what he has done. And then, a blind woman appears. She walks slowly, guided by her dog, drawing nearer and nearer to the scene. The animal leads her toward the body. Jackie freezes, heart pounding, but the woman does not realize what has happened. She simply says to her dog, "Don't eat anything lying on the road," and continues walking. The moment she leaves, Jackie grabs his bag and hurries away. In his imagination, he sees himself in police custody, his mother fainting at the sight. But it was only a dream. That night, lying awake, he wonders why the police have not arrived yet. Panic strikes him. He remembers he left the hammer at the crime scene. What a terrible mistake. By morning, the police arrive and begin their investigation. Among the evidence, they find a polythene bag carried by one of the drunkards. Printed on it is the name of the store where Jackie works. Detective Danny soon arrived at that same store. Casually, he bought a pack of cigarettes, then stepped outside and sat down. Moments later, two troublemakers, Chantu and Bantu, approached. Chantu asked Danny for a lighter. Danny replied coldly, "I don't smoke." Irritated, Chantu began insulting him. But as soon as Danny's partner stepped out, Danny snapped, "Put them in the car. These two need to be taught a lesson." At the police station, Officer Park, a kind and honest policeman, tried to reason with the boys, explaining they should never again misbehave with strangers. Meanwhile, Danny sat in front of the CCTV footage from the store. His colleague remarked, "Two bodies were found. It looks like they fought each other to death." Still suspicious, Danny returned to the market. He asked the shopkeeper if the boy seen in the footage, the same boy who worked there, had sold anything to the victims before their deaths. Just then, Jackie arrived. Danny took Jackie outside and sat him down. Jackie asked nervously, "Are we going to talk here?" Danny smirked. "Why? Do you want to go to the police station instead? Tell me. The man who raised his fist at you yesterday, the one who insulted you, was that why you killed him?" Jackie froze, terrified. Danny laughed lightly. "Relax, I was joking. Just tell me, those two sat here for 2 hours. What were they talking about?" Jackie stammered, "They were talking about their families, about what they suffer every day." His fear grew. He was on the verge of confessing everything when Danny's colleague rushed over. "Good news, sir. The forensic report is here. Both men died fighting each other. We even have a witness who saw them holding bricks and striking one another." At the police station, the wife of one of the drunkards was called. Through tears, she said, "My husband was always drunk, but his friend, he cared for me and my child. I was about to divorce my husband and marry his friend. Afterward, Danny stepped outside and told his team, 'I still don't believe they killed each other.' There was no trace of blood on those bricks." That night, Jackie's friend Jiang visited him. "Why aren't you answering my calls?" he asked. Jackie lied, "My phone must be broken." Jiang leaned closer. "Today, when I left college, a policeman questioned me about you. The way he asked, It felt like he suspects you of the murder. Days passed. Then Officer Park came running to Danny, breathless. Sir, we discovered something. One of the men whose bodies we found that day, he was living under a fake identity. The DNA report just came in. He was a serial killer missing since 2009. His name was Yo Boy. When Jackie saw this news on television, he was stunned. If he hadn't defended himself with the hammer that night, Yo Boy would have killed him instead. As people say, karma always returns. That night, the killer was punished for his own sins. In the final shot, we see the same blind woman from that night, innocently playing with her dog, and inside her home, the hammer Jackie had used to kill the murderer was lying there. How did it get there? That is the mystery the second episode begins to reveal. We see the blind woman's dog chasing after Jackie. Suddenly, Jackie regains consciousness inside his room, blood splattered across his body. How did all of this happen? That we are about to discover. Later, Jackie visits his mother, who takes him along to the church. Inside, she whispers to him, "You know, don't you? Someone was murdered where you work, but whatever happened was for the good. Men like him deserve such punishment. God's stick makes no sound, but it always strikes." After church, Jackie goes to buy a new phone because the old one had been broken during that dreadful fight. He then heads to his store and resumes work. But soon, the same blind lady enters and asks him for a packet of cigarettes. When Jackie sees her face, he freezes in shock. The woman smirks. "Judging from your expression, it looks like you recognize me. You must have thought I was blind, but I am not. That night, I saw the bloodshed. I said nothing then and walked away. But now you must pay. If you don't have your hammer, leave 2,000,001 instead." Panicked, Jackie runs to the mobile shop, desperate to return the phone for money. But the seller refuses. The phone cannot be returned. Pay your EMIs, then you can sell it in the second-hand market. Defeated, Jackie checks his account balance. Only $1,092,370. He goes to his boss asking for an advance. The boss replies coldly, "I have rules. One of them is never lending money to anyone." But after a moment of pity, he deposits some money into Jackie's account. Still desperate, Jackie sneaks to his mother's house and takes the passbook and checkbook where his father had been saving money for him. He rushes to the bank, cashing out the entire sum. Later, while Jackie is at work, his boss arrives and asks, "Why are you boys roaming around outside?" Jackie brushes it off. "Nothing, sir." But then his boss adds, "There's a strange girl outside wearing dark glasses. I thought she was staring at me." Alarmed, Jackie runs outside. He searches but finds no one, only an empty cigarette pack lying on a table. On it, an address is scrawled, asking him to come tomorrow at noon. The next day, Jackie arrives at the address. The woman greets him, bringing coffee in a paper cup. With a piercing gaze, she asks, "Did you kill the other man too?" Jackie stammers, "No, I didn't." He hands her money, but she only laughs. "From now on, I want 2,000,001 every month. You killed a man. Did you really think you could escape so easily?" She then reveals the hammer, carefully wrapped in plastic so the fingerprints won't fade. "As long as you keep paying me, this secret stays safe. My dog has a habit of picking things up from the road. That night, he brought me your hammer. Do you see? Fate itself brought us together." Jackie panics. 2,000,001 every month? It is impossible. Suddenly, in desperation, he snatches the hammer from her hand. "I gave you money. That means I'm taking this." The woman calls after him, her voice like venom. "If this truth is revealed in your home, your mother will die alive. Your sister's marriage will break. Your mother will be disgraced in church. Even if you prove you killed him in self-defense, you will still face at least 15 years in prison. I am saving you by staying silent. Now tell me, do you want my help or not?" Jackie realizes the truth. She will never stop. She will keep him as her puppet, demanding more, ruling over his life. Jackie cannot tolerate this. So, with trembling hands but burning rage, he strikes her with the very hammer she used to blackmail him. Blow after blow until she lies motionless. He quickly gathers his money, takes the hammer, and flees. But in his panic, he leaves a trail of blood behind. The woman's beloved dog rushes to her side, licking her blood, whimpering in sorrow. Days pass. The milkman, noticing the untouched packets piling outside her door, peeks inside. Horrified by the sight of her body, he calls the police immediately. Detective Danny arrives at the scene with his team. As he steps inside, Detective Park turns to him and asks quietly, "Sir, what about the dog?" The dog did not know the difference between its master and food. Hungry and restless, it began to lick the wounds of its dead mistress, feeding on her flesh. When the police tried to catch the animal, it suddenly dug into the ground at one spot. To their horror, they discovered a skeleton buried beneath. As more officers gathered and unearthed the site, it became clear that there wasn't just one skeleton, but two. Their superior demanded an explanation. One officer reported, We've already sent both skeletons to forensics. As soon as the results come back, we will inform you. Meanwhile, 4 days had passed since the second murder. Jackie had locked himself inside his room, surviving without food or water. In that silence, he realized a person could live 4 days without eating or drinking, but beyond that, he was yet to discover. His friends kept calling. On the 32nd call, his phone rang again, but Jackie refused to answer. I committed murder, he thought bitterly, so why haven't the police come to arrest me? Elsewhere, an officer walked into the park carrying the forensic report. He revealed, the dog has licked away every surface where we could have found fingerprints. The dog was brought to the station, but the senior officer grew furious. He scolded Park, declaring, this animal is a cannibal. It can eat anyone. It should not be here. On the other side, Jackie was sinking deeper into despair, preparing to kill himself. But suddenly, loud banging echoed on his door. His friend had arrived, worried. Jackie returned the money he had borrowed and told him to leave. But the friend insisted, I didn't come for money. I came because I need your help. I was worried about you. That night, as Detective Park was asleep in his office, his superior handed him a letter. Deliver this dog to the address written here. Whether they keep it alive or kill it, that will be their choice, he ordered. Park hesitated. So you're asking me to commit this sin? But orders were orders. He took the dog, and as they passed through the streets, the animal suddenly caught Jackie's scent. Jackie sat in his apartment listening to a sad song. Park gently whispered to the dog, don't bother. I'm taking you home, not to be killed. Nearby, 2 thugs, Chantu and Bantu, were lurking. They had once been humiliated by Detective Danny at the police station. Hungry for revenge, Chantu smashed a beer bottle and drove it into Park's stomach. The dog bolted in fear while the 2 goons ran away. Park collapsed, crying in pain, but no one came to help. At that same moment, Jackie stepped outside his apartment and glanced at his phone. A news headline caught his eye. G. Surat, a murderer, had killed his own parents and buried them in his garden. Jackie whispered to himself, I killed 2 people and both of them were bad. No evidence was found against me. It seems even God is on my side. Elsewhere, the 2 thugs argued. Bantu scolded Chantu for stabbing a policeman. Chantu demanded a cigarette, but Bantu cursed, saying the packet had fallen while they were running. Then they spotted Jackie walking toward them. The moment Jackie saw blood on Chantu's clothes, he realized these men were dangerous. His body shivered, the same strange signal he had felt during his earlier murders, a signal pushing him to kill again. By morning, the bodies of Chantu and Bantu were discovered, lying in a deep pit nearby. Jackie, meanwhile, was found unconscious in his room just as before. When he regained consciousness, he stared in confusion. How did I come here? On the floor near him lay a hammer, a brick, and a slip of paper. Jackie picked it up and read, If you need help, message us on Telegram. That slip had been left by the mysterious people who carried him home when he was unconscious. Who were they? That truth will unfold later. The 3rd episode shifts to the past. We see Zion, the same woman who once blackmailed Jackie. In her younger days, she was drinking heavily with colleagues, completely intoxicated. None of them noticed gas leaking in the room. Zion lit a lighter to smoke a cigarette and flames erupted, burning parts of her body. Later, she repeated the same cruel method, this time to kill her own mother. She had taken 8 different life insurance policies in her mother's name. But her plan failed when the stench of gas woke her mother. Why does it smell like gas in here? Her mother asked in alarm. Zion glared. Mother, why did you ruin my plan? She then picked up a large knife, stabbing her mother to death, and buried her body in the garden. As the saying goes, as you sow, so shall you reap. Zion met the same fate she inflicted on her mother. The story then returns to the present. Detective Danny and his partner visit Zion's cousin. Danny explains calmly, we want to know everything about your cousin, Zion. Zion's cousin revealed the truth. She was always arrogant, a girl who enjoyed giving pain to others. A few days later, when Detective Park recovered from his wounds and returned to the office, everyone welcomed him warmly. Park, still shaken, confessed, I can't believe someone would want to kill a man like me. When he struck me with that glass bottle in the stomach, I tried to catch him, but the blood poured out. And I fainted. But who killed them after that? His superior replied, we still don't know who killed those 2. But you should rest. Take a few days off. Park shook his head. Sir, if I stay at home, I'll only grow more ill. The next day, Detective Danny attended Bantu's funeral with his partner. Bantu's grieving mother clutched at him and cried, my son has never killed so much as a mosquito, yet you accuse him of such a great crime? Find his murderer. Danny stepped out and sat silently in his car. His partner tried to reason with him. Sir, that woman has just lost her son. You should have shown her some leniency. Danny's eyes hardened. Don't teach me my job. Those people you call innocent, they were guilty. Both were bastards. Once, Bantu lured a girl named Xiao into his web of love. Then, after school, both he and Chantu violated her and left her to die. By sheer luck, someone found her and rushed her to the hospital, but she never forgot that hand, the hand that destroyed her. A month later, she killed herself. On the day of her funeral, a woman caused a scene, cursing Bantu's family. But because he was a minor at that time, he was released easily. Even after that, those boys continued their crimes, beating, stealing, harassing. If they had done that to my daughter, I would have killed them long ago. Later, Danny returned to the store and showed Zion's photo. "Did this girl come here?" he asked. The owner nodded. "Yes, I saw her. She was wandering outside." Then, when asked about Jackie, the shopkeeper's tone soured. "That boy stabbed me in the back. He took 1 month's advance from me and never came back." Elsewhere, Jackie sent a message to the telegram number written on the slip. A reply came, and as Jackie read the name, his face went pale with fear. The following day, Danny's partner visited Xiao's father. The man's eyes were heavy with grief as he said, "My daughter was innocent. She did good to everyone, trusted people too easily. Those animals, Chantu and Bantu, destroyed her. That's why I killed them." Meanwhile, Jackie was tormented by guilt and fear. Desperate, he called the police station. "I want to surrender," he said. The officer mocked him. "Then come here after doing your repentance." Jackie packed the brick and hammer into his bag and left his home. At the police station, Danny discovered his partner and boss taking the statement of Xiao's father. The man claimed, "Both of them were drunk. I took advantage and killed them." Later, Danny approached him again, this time with a sharp gaze. "Why are you taking the blame on yourself? I know you didn't kill them. The killer was right-handed. You're left-handed." Just then, Danny's superior interrupted, pulling him outside. "What are you trying to prove with this nonsense? We have his statement. He confessed. Case closed." But Danny stood firm. "We can't just believe words. Until there's solid proof, we will continue. This is about our department's reputation." His superior left angrily, and Danny's partner whispered, "We told that woman who the killer of her son was." Danny froze. "Where is Xiao's father?" "We sent him home." On his way back, Xiao's father replayed that tragic night in his mind. But before he could reach home, Bantu's furious mother drove her car straight into him, striking him down at full speed. Danny and his partner arrived moments later. Danny clenched his fists. He had known something like this might happen. Meanwhile, Jackie deposited the last of his money into his account. But as soon as he stepped out of the bank, 2 bikers rushed past, snatching his bag. Jackie fell hard to the ground, badly injured. The thieves rode far away, only to find there was no money inside. Disappointed, they hurled the bag into the water. Jackie, bleeding, was taken to the hospital. At that very moment, Danny also arrived at the hospital, still investigating Xiao's father. He asked sharply, "Why confess?" "Nobody takes someone else's blame for nothing." Xiao's father replied, "They destroyed my daughter. That's why I killed them. Punishing them myself gave me peace." Danny leaned in. "The law exists to deliver punishment, not you." Then, softening, he added, "Forget it. We'll talk again tomorrow." A little later, after completing his tests, the nurse wheeled Xiao's father into the hospital lobby and left him there. Sitting quietly, he pulled out his phone and opened Telegram. There, he noticed a message from Jackie. At that moment, his eyes fell on Jackie himself. In a surge of determination, Xiao's father pushed his wheelchair forward at full speed, trying to chase him. But the chair tilted, and he fell hard to the floor. Jackie turned instantly. Despite his fear, he rushed to help the old man. But Xiao's father whispered, voice strained, "Jackie, you shouldn't have come here. There are too many policemen. Leave quickly." Confused, Jackie asked, "Do you know me?" "There is much you have yet to know. Go home, check the telegram. And son, thank you for killing Chantu and Bantu. Now go before it's too late." Jackie left in silence. But outside, Detective Danny had been sitting in his car. He saw Jackie leaving the hospital, and suspicion immediately grew in his eyes. He started following him. Inside the hospital, Xiao's father sat in his wheelchair, remembering precious moments with his lost daughter. Overwhelmed by grief, he swallowed a large number of sleeping pills. Closing his eyes, he whispered her name and drifted into eternal sleep. The scene shifted to the past. Xiao's father had been hunting the 2 thugs, Chantu and Bantu, that fateful night. But before he could strike, he saw Jackie fighting them. Jackie killed both with brutal force before collapsing unconscious himself. Back in the present, Danny was still tailing Jackie when a call came from the hospital. The nurse's voice was panicked. "Mr. Kong has attempted suicide. Please come quickly." Danny abandoned his chase and rushed to the hospital, where doctors fought to save the old man's life. Meanwhile, Jackie opened his phone and checked Telegram, only to see that the account had been deleted. His mind raced back to that night when two men had carried him home after he killed Chantu and Bantu. One of them was Mr. Kong, but the other, he still had no idea who it was. In the closing scene of the third episode, Jackie's mother and sister knocked at his apartment door. When no one answered, they asked the receptionist to open it. As they stepped inside, horror struck his mother. "Oh God, did my son really live in such a place?" On the table lay a letter. What was written inside would be revealed in the next episode. Episode 4 begins. A wealthy businessman staggered out of a hotel after a night of heavy partying. Heading to his car, he saw a man waiting in the shadows. Assuming him to be the driver, he snapped, "Come quickly, we are getting late." The man wore a jacket with the name Only for Heroes stitched across it, the same name that had been sending Jackie messages on Telegram. The businessman climbed into the car, but midway, his phone rang. It was his real driver. "Sir, I'm waiting in the parking lot. Where are you?" Fear gripped him. "Then who's driving me?" he gasped. Before he could react, the imposter forced him into unconsciousness. The next morning, the businessman's body was found floating in the river. That night, Detective Lee visited the store, asking about Jackie. The owner replied coldly, "It's been 4 months. He left the job. Nobody knows where he went, but his family, they repaid all his debts, every cent he had borrowed." Park had also retired during this time, quietly moving back home with his belongings. But in those 4 months, a wave of brutal murders had plagued the city. A special investigation team was brought in, yet they uncovered nothing. Eventually, they were dismissed. Danny's partner James muttered angrily, "They should hand this case to us. We've been working it from the beginning." Danny scoffed. "They weren't here to solve anything. They just came to pretend they were working." Detective Lee overheard. Her eyes narrowed. "So, you think we were pretending? Let me tell you something. When there is no evidence, circumstances must be blamed, not emotions." Danny glared back. "You're blaming us for your failure so your collar doesn't get stained." Lee laughed coldly. "Every Friday at 10 p.m., my program airs on TV. Watch it." In the next scene, a YouTuber named Jin appeared. Known for mixing gaming streams with crime commentary, he had built a large audience. That night, his doorbell rang. When he opened the door, he was stunned to see Detective Danny standing there. Danny walked in casually. "I came to take help from this fat guy." Jin frowned. "Strange. You've been investigating this case for months, yet you've not found a single clue. This only shows that the police these days don't take their work seriously." Danny smirked. "But we caught you once, didn't we?" Jin shifted uncomfortably. "That was a long time ago. Don't embarrass me." Danny leaned forward. "Forget your pride. Look at the case and tell me what you see." Jin studied the files carefully. At first, the attacks looked clumsy, like they were done unknowingly, but in the latest cases, the killer stabbed with precision, over and over. It's as if he's slowly becoming an expert. Yet one thing remains strange. Every person he killed was a criminal. That is why somehow he keeps being spared. The delivery boy had just arrived. Jin collected his food and came back inside when Danny suddenly called his partner, asking him to step in. Handing Jin a phone, Danny pressed, "How do you know so much about these cases in detail?" "You're coming with us to the station." Jin's eyes widened. "You're misusing your power. You don't even have a warrant." Danny leaned closer, his tone dark. "Then come quietly, answer a few questions, and go home. Or I'll come back with a warrant, thrash this place, and break all your toys. Choose wisely." Reluctantly, Jin was taken to the station. When Danny's boss arrived and heard his statement, he scoffed. "You dragged me here for this nonsense? Let the fat guy go. I'm leaving." Outside, Danny's partner whispered, "Sir, all his information comes from the internet. We can't keep him here." So Danny personally drove Jin back home. Jin sat sullen, silent. Danny muttered, "I'm not getting a single clue about this case." Jin shrugged coldly. "What does that have to do with me? You're the cop. This is your job." Danny snapped, "You also do the same thing on YouTube, don't you? Listen carefully. If you learn anything and don't tell me, there will be no one worse than me." Later, as Danny ate at a small restaurant, his eyes fell on a familiar sight, Zion's dog. He followed it and saw how it scavenged food from trash, carrying it back to Zion's empty house. Danny's heart sank with sorrow. Elsewhere, Jin inspected his toys nervously. Danny had twisted their necks earlier. Just then, another knock came. A delivery boy stood at the door with tofu. Jin thanked him but warned softly, "You should be careful. A crazy detective has been hounding me." That delivery boy was Jackie. As Jackie walked downstairs, a detective questioned him. In a nearby car, Danny sat with James, watching. James frowned. "Sir, why are you following this YouTuber?" Danny's eyes were sharp. "Years ago, I was tracking a murderer. This YouTuber protected him. I suspect he's doing the same now." Another detective joined them. "Sir, there's another delivery boy at Jin's house. He never shows his face." Danny's gaze fixed. He barked, "Chase him, now!" Then he stormed into Jin's room, yanked the cables from his computer, and growled, "Are you the one choosing the murder victims?" Outside, Jackie and Danny's men chased the faceless delivery boy. At a red light, James leapt from the car, sprinting after him. The boy fled through the streets, but James pursued relentlessly, finally catching him. Inside, Danny was tearing through Jin's room, smashing his toys one by one. Jin protested, "What you're doing is against the law." Danny ignored him, shattering another figure. At that moment, James dragged the captured delivery boy inside. Danny snarled, "Who told you to bring him?" "I didn't ask for this." Then Danny's phone rang. It was his furious boss. "Why are you beating him? Your video is live online. Leave there immediately before this explodes into chaos." Danny opened Jin's computer, checking every installed camera. Suddenly, the police outside shouted, "Open the door or we'll break it down." Danny ripped a hidden camera from behind a Batman poster and glared at Jin. "Let's see who saves you now." Jin, unfazed, raised his 360 camera, recording everything. Danny's rage boiled over, ready to strike, but James grabbed him, holding him back. At that same moment, the delivery boy burst through the door and ran. Police stormed in and seized Danny, dragging him away. Now the truth of 4 months ago is revealed. 4 months earlier, Jackie had left a letter for his parents. "Dear Mom and Dad, I still have not discovered my true purpose. That is why I am going to Canada to search for the meaning of my life. Please forgive me for leaving without telling you." At the airport, he heard the news on television that the 2 boys he killed had been criminals since high school. For the first time, a flicker of relief crossed his face. Curious, he searched online for Only 4 Heroes liquor, but found nothing. With little money in his account, Canada was impossible. Instead, he boarded a train to Busan. When the train finally emptied, Jackie awoke to an announcement. As he looked around, he noticed a boy seated beside him. The boy smiled. "I am one of the only 4 heroes. Sorry to keep you waiting. I can help you." He led Jackie to his home. "Together, we can do great things for this world. And when the time comes, I will take you to your home, along with Mr. Kong." The boy looked at Jackie and said, "I went to drop you off that night. At first, I could not believe that the person I was searching for was you. Do you know, Jackie? You have something special inside you, a power. Every person you kill turns out to be a criminal. And the strangest part, every time you strike, the evidence simply disappears on its own. Even God wants you to keep doing this work, to cleanse this world of filth. Whatever you need, I will give you. I have 50 million won. With that, you can even fulfill your dream of going to Canada." Jackie stood silent, unable to comprehend what was happening to him. The next day, Jin sat across from him and explained coldly, "Whenever you encounter a wicked man, you will feel it in your body. A compulsion to kill." Jackie shook his head. "I don't think so." But Jin only smirked. "You'll see." Later, Jackie entered Jin's room. "You said I have other partners. Where are they?" he asked. Jin replied, "You've already met one, Mr. Kong in the hospital. As for the other one, it's better you don't meet him. Behind me is a cupboard. Take what you need." Jackie opened the cupboard, stepping into a hidden room. His eyes widened. The space was filled with strange and terrifying things. Files on criminals, collections of weapons, and countless other secrets. From among them, Jackie chose a weapon. He pulled on the dark jacket hanging by the door, the emblem of Only 4 Heroes stitched on it, and walked out into the night. Soon after, Jackie collided with a businessman on the street. Instantly, that strange, murderous impulse surged inside him again. He knew then Jin was right. Jackie kidnapped the man, dragging him to a lonely beach. There, he tied the terrified man to a chair. The businessman begged, "I have small children. They're still in high school. I've never harmed anyone. Why do you want to kill me? What have I done to you?" Jackie's voice was calm but chilling. "If you've truly never done anything wrong, then why do I feel like killing you? You must have done something, otherwise fate wouldn't have made us collide." The businessman pleaded desperately, "I already apologized for bumping into you. Will you kill me just for that?" Just then, Jin arrived. He seized the businessman's phone and connected it to his laptop. Within moments, hidden files opened, a gallery filled with videos exposing the man's horrific crimes. He had forced himself upon a young girl. The businessman screamed, "This is a misunderstanding. Please let me go. I can pay you money, anything you want." But Jackie's eyes had already gone cold. He pulled out a knife and silenced him forever. By the next morning, the businessman's corpse was found floating in the water. Later, Jackie looked at Jin and declared, "I finally found a reason to live." He returned to his gym, opened his locker, and pulled out a bag filled with his weapons. From then on, every time Jin sent him a video of a criminal, Jackie hunted them down and killed them. The police were clueless. They had no trace of him, no evidence, no lead to follow. Their superiors grew furious, scolding them mercilessly. Some officers, enraged, even turned on their superior and beat him up. For this, they were suspended. Detective Danny, too, was suspended, despite having done nothing wrong. Meanwhile, Jackie continued his spree. One by one, he hunted criminals, and with each kill, he began to enjoy the work more. What had begun as fear was now a thrill. But for Detective Danny, life was falling apart. In the final scene, a policeman approached a delivery boy, showing him a photograph. "Have you seen this man?" The boy looked carefully. "Yes, this is Jackie." The officer leaned in. "Where can I find him? I need to talk to him." At last, someone had reached Jackie's trail. His hideout was no longer hidden. The question now is, what will Danny do to catch Jackie? Will Jackie's uncanny luck, which has protected him until now, continue to save him? And this new policeman who has entered the game, what role will he play now that he has already reached Jackie's doorstep? The answers will unfold in the next episode. Friends, if you're still watching this video, it means you're enjoying the story, so please make sure to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me keep bringing you these recaps. And now, let's continue the story. Superman saves people by flying, Spider-Man saves people with his webs, but Jackie kills the criminals. Every person who comes under Jackie's radar is a criminal. Someone who has committed a sin so grave that they no longer deserve to live. His only motive is justice. No one else has the courage to punish these criminals. Jackie chooses them, and Jin helps him in this mission. At present, Jackie lives quietly, working in the fishing department of a supermarket to earn his livelihood. People often question him, but Jackie hardly ever answers. He spends his days in silence, working among ordinary people. Lena, too, hides her identity, living away from her hometown. Once, her boyfriend leaked her MMS, and the shame that followed forced her into exile. She now works in the same supermarket as Jackie. Like him, she rarely speaks. Like him, she sees every stranger as if they might be guilty of something. One afternoon, a quarrelsome woman storms into the store. She demands a refund for items she had bought 3 days ago, complaining that the goods were of poorer quality. Lena checks the system, but finds no record of such a purchase. The manager arrives, instructs her to issue the refund anyway, and even adds complimentary goods just to pacify the woman. But when the woman reaches her car, she finds a cigarette stub resting on the windshield. Furious, she turns on Jackie, who happens to be standing nearby. "Just because I'm here," Jackie says coldly, "doesn't mean I did it." "There's a dash cam in my car," the woman threatens. Jackie smirks. "Then your dash cam must also have captured the footage of you stealing from the store, the same things you just took a refund for. Give me your phone. I'll call the police myself." Lena watches all of this from inside. That night, she approaches Jackie. "You're like me," she whispers. "Whenever someone asks about your past, you stay silent and keep your distance. You're far from home, working in a supermarket. Just like me, you treat useless customers harshly just like me. I once had big dreams too, but now I'm tired of even dreaming. All I want is a normal life." Elsewhere, retired Officer Park visits Danny. He notices a dog. "What's it doing here?" Park asks. Danny replies, "It was wandering around, eating dirt, so I adopted it." Park raises an eyebrow. "And why didn't you answer James's calls?" Danny shrugs. "He was harassing me, so I called him here." Moments later, James arrives. His voice carries bitterness. "Sir, if you had trusted me, we would have caught the murderer by now. You wouldn't have been suspended. But you hid everything from me. No matter what, we will catch him." "Tell me, Danny, did you hear about the murder of Professor Young in Busan? When Jackie escaped from us, he went there too." Danny replies, "There have been many murders in Busan. Their killers have never been caught." James insists, "Then we must go to Busan ourselves." Together, Danny and James visit Jackie's home. His family tells them he's missing. "Why haven't you filed a report yet?" James demands. "Do one thing, file a report of his disappearance first, then we'll find your son." Meanwhile, Lena sits in a restaurant eating alone. A young man named Dong watches her intently, following her with his eyes. Irritated, Lena confronts him. "Why are you staring at me? Did your desires awaken after seeing my MMS?" Dong shakes his head. "I feel like I know you. Maybe you've forgotten me. My name is Dong. I remember your wax shop was in front of the school." Later that evening, the two meet again. They talk casually and slowly. A fragile friendship begins to form. Elsewhere, Jackie's mother and sister file a missing persons report at the police station. Danny and James then begin their search, traveling to Busan. They request the help of the local police, but the local officer resists. "We're already investigating these murders. Don't interfere by claiming this boy as a suspect." Danny replies sternly, "We have an official order. You will assist us." Reluctantly, the policeman agrees. The next morning, Jackie leaves his house. In the elevator, he notices a boy. Something about his body catches Jackie's instincts. He almost raises his hand to strike, but resists and walks away. At that same moment, Lena's phone rings. It's Dong. Surprised, she asks, "How did you get my number?" Dong answers simply, "It's just a number. I found it. I want to talk to you about something important. That's why I want to meet you." When Lena finally meets him, Dong begins to speak. Dong sat before Lena with a heavy sigh. "I broke up with my girlfriend. I'm a little upset," he said, reaching for her hand, trying to draw close. That night, he stayed at Lena's house. She allowed it, but her heart remained cold, without feeling. The next morning, Dong returned to his fiancée. He looked her in the eye. "I need to go away for some important work. I know we're about to be married, but my work is important too." When she insisted on dropping him off, her eyes caught his luggage stuffed into the car. Her expression darkened. "I understand now. You lied. You're not working. You're going fishing with your friends. Go, enjoy yourself, but remember, you'll never find a wife like me anywhere." The following day, Jackie arrived at the supermarket. His eyes narrowed when he saw Lena talking to a stranger. He did not know yet that the man she is dating now is named Dong, that he was secretly dating her. Dong had lied to his girlfriend once again, sneaking off to Lena's house under the pretense of work, just to spend the night with her. That evening, when Dong fell asleep, Lena picked up his phone and scrolled through his girlfriend's messages. Just then, Dong woke, furious, and lunged to snatch it from her hands. "You told me you broke up with her," Lena cried. "That's why I let you be with me, but now I see you were pretending all along. Tell me the truth." Dong's voice hardened. "When I saw your MMS, my desire awoke. I only wanted to sleep with you." The words cut deep. Rage flared in Lena's eyes. Their voices grew louder, the fight more heated. Finally, she shouted, "I'll tell your girlfriend everything." That was the breaking point. Dong's fury exploded. He seized her throat in both hands and strangled her. Lena's life drained away as silence filled the room. Afterward, Dong sat calmly, breathing hard, thinking about what to do next. By morning, the television blared with breaking news. "A young woman has died in a fire." Jackie, watching silently, switched off the TV before hearing the details. The truth was darker. Dong had set fire to his own apartment to burn away every trace of his presence, every shred of evidence that could tie him to the crime. Later, Danny asked the police about the case. An officer replied, "The girl worked in a supermarket. She hardly spoke to anyone except her parents. Cause of death, fire." Danny shook his head. "It's possible she was murdered. We should investigate." When Jackie returned to the supermarket, a colleague whispered the truth. "Lena is dead. Someone killed her." Suddenly, a familiar figure appeared, the crazed retired officer, Shakal. He lunged at Jackie, giving chase through the market. Jackie bolted, weaving through aisles, finally breaking free. At the same time, Danny and James entered the supermarket. Danny's eyes locked on Jackie. He too gave chase. Jackie ran, bursting into a storeroom. But Shakal was there already, knocking him to the ground. "Stand up," Shakal growled. "We have a long way to go." The sound of Danny's footsteps echoed closer. Seizing the chance, Jackie shoved past Shakal and fled. When Danny entered, the room was empty. Outside, James reported, "Someone stole the hard disk with the CCTV footage." Danny turned to the manager, showing him Jackie's photo. "Do you know this man?" The manager nodded. "Yes, he's our employee." A policeman stepped forward. "I've heard enough. Danny, you're suspended." Danny snarled, "So what? Even off duty, I'll keep working." Another officer calmed them. "Enough, let's go to this boy's house." In the shadows of his room, Shakal sat watching the stolen CCTV footage. The grainy images showed Dong talking to Lena, the very girl who had been murdered. Meanwhile, Dong sat nervously in a clinic. The doctor spoke gravely. "You have HIV. These are early symptoms. If you're careful, you may recover." Shaken, Dong left and called his girlfriend. But her voice trembled on the other end. I also have HIV. A few days ago, I went to a bar with a friend. I made a mistake. Please forgive me." Dong's anger erupted, his hands clenching tight around the phone. When he returned to his apartment, he froze. Shakal was already inside, waiting in the darkness. "You knew Lena, didn't you?" Shakal asked coldly. "You also slept with her." "Yes," Dong stammered, "but I didn't kill her." "Her neighbors heard fighting that night," Shakal pressed. "Tell me the truth, or things will get complicated." Dong swallowed hard. "I was dating Lena. When she found out I already had a girlfriend, she confronted me. We argued. Maybe the neighbors heard us, but I didn't kill her." Shakal slowly began to clap, his eyes mocking. "Do you even have an arrest warrant?" Dong spat. Shakal snarled, "You bastard! I didn't come to arrest you, I came to kill you." Elsewhere, Jackie called Jin. His voice trembled. "The police are after me. I ran." "Turn off your phone," Jin warned. "Stay out of sight. I'll handle things." Back in the apartment, Shakal bound Dong tightly with tape. His voice was like ice. I'm looking for a bastard. Somehow, I always find people like you and I kill them. He'll come looking for you too. Dong pleaded, if I tell you the truth, will you let me go? Shakal smirked. So you admit it, you killed Lena. Fine. Write your confession. Dong's hand trembled as he began to write. And with that, the web of lies and blood thickens even further. Dong never finished the confession. In his rage and haste, he killed Lena before writing a single word, and later he regretted it, because the details of her death would never be recorded. He rushed to carefully clean the room, wiping every corner, leaving not a single strand of hair, not a single trace for the forensic team to find. Meanwhile, Danny arrived at Jackie's house with a policeman, while James headed to Dong's with another officer. On his way, James unknowingly crossed paths with Shakal. They knocked on Dong's door, no answer. Danny and his partner forced it open. Inside, smoke from a fire extinguisher filled the room. James pressed his ear to the wall, hearing a faint leakage. Suddenly, an explosion ripped through the silence, throwing James back and leaving him badly injured. And so, the tension built, waiting for the story to unfold. In the 6th episode, the police apprehended a man, the same one Jackie's body had instinctively warned him about. When questioned, the man admitted, I didn't like Jackie's face. So I stole his room key, went inside and sprayed a fire extinguisher just to make his room dirty. Why did he file a complaint against me? But the officer's response was sharp. A girl has been murdered and you tampered with her room. You destroyed evidence. Elsewhere, Danny visited his ailing father, but his phone rang. It was James. I saw a glimpse of someone, maybe the one who planted the bomb. Danny's voice was calm but heavy. Take care of yourself first, get treated. I'll handle everything else. Later, he asked his mother about his stepfather, whose health was now critical. That night, Jin entered his home. The room was pitch dark. Then a voice broke the silence. Don't be afraid, it's me. It was Shakal already waiting, all the hidden cameras and mics removed. The lights flickered on. Jin glared. Did you cause the blast at Dong's house? Shakal smirked. In those days, you used to call me a hero. You're not a hero, Jin snapped. Fury filled Shakal's face. He grabbed a toy and struck Jin with it. You taught me everything I know, and now I want to meet our new hero. I'm searching for him myself, Jin muttered. Searching? Shakal sneered. I only went to say hello, but he got so scared he ran away. Find him for me. Arrange the meeting. Until then, I'll take this book of yours. As Shakal turned to leave, Jin tried to strike from behind, but he had forgotten. Shakal's gift was knowing in advance when someone intended to kill him. He easily dodged. Meanwhile, Jackie was playing a video game. Sitting beside him was a stranger. And as Jackie looked at him, the dark urge stirred again, the overwhelming instinct to kill. But Jackie held himself back, slipping away quietly without raising suspicion. At the same time, Detective James was on his way to Jin's home to question him. There, he encountered Shakal. Who are you? Shakal demanded. Police, James replied firmly. Without hesitation, Shakal hurled him off the building. Later, the police picked up Jin and dragged him to the station. But Jin insisted on speaking only to Danny. When I heard a fight outside, Jin explained, trembling. I went out. Your friend, he was lying on the ground, thrown from the building. Danny's fury burned. He drew his gun. Tell me the truth or I'll shoot you. Terrified, Jin broke. It was Shakal. He did this. He has returned. The story shifted. A college boy and girl narrowly avoided being struck by a car. Furious, the boy lashed out at the driver, hurling insults. But in the back seat of that very car sat Shakal, silent, watching. Danny confronted Jin later. If you had told me sooner, I could have caught him already. Jin pleaded, promise me you won't tell Jackie. He has nothing to do with this. Danny's voice was grave. Go hide, otherwise, you'll be the next one to die. Outside, Danny told the other officers. James saw Shakal there. But one policeman erupted in anger. If we hadn't followed your lead, my colleagues wouldn't have been suspended today. Danny's patience snapped. He stormed away in fury. Meanwhile, Shakal captured the same boy and girl he had been watching. On the rooftop of a building, he beat the boy mercilessly. You children, you know nothing of respect, neither for your elders nor for yourselves. But it isn't your fault, it's your parents. If they had slapped you twice when you misbehaved, you wouldn't have grown up so spoiled. He turned to the girl. I'll let you go. Live as a good citizen. Please, I don't have a pen, she whispered when he asked for one. You're a student. You must have one. I'm an art student. Then draw me, Shakal mocked. I can't. I don't know how. I'm no threat to you. Please don't kill me. Shakal's smile faded. If you know nothing, then what's the point of going to such an expensive art school? And with that, he killed her too. That night, Jackie lay in his bed, restless. The TV flickered in the background. A man has killed someone, and fled, announced the newsreader. Jackie's blood ran cold. The report was about the same man who had been sitting beside him earlier, playing video games, and Jackie set out to find him. Meanwhile, Danny was sitting with his father when the phone rang. On the line was the new captain, and moments later, the man arrived to meet him face to face. "Danny," the captain said urgently, "I need your help in catching Shakal. You're the only one who knows him well. This time, he's gone too far. He killed the granddaughter of a construction company chairman. Word is, whoever solves this case is guaranteed a promotion. Please, help me. You can rejoin duty starting tomorrow." In the next scene, Jin went to the construction company where the chairman's granddaughter had been killed. His phone rang. It was Jackie. Jin stepped outside to take the call. "Tell me," Jackie asked, "what kind of man is Shakal?" Jin's memory pulled him back to their first encounter. Shakal, mercilessly thrashing 4 or 5 men all by himself. "Stay hidden," Jin warned. "Leave everything to me." But Jackie's voice was steady. "I want to meet him." Back inside, Jin told the chairman's men that the plan had changed. At that very moment, Shakal sat in his room, calmly reading the letters he had once forced his victims to write, confessions scrawled in their own hands before he killed them. His phone buzzed. A message from Jin. "Jackie wants to meet you." Shakal smirked and placed a video call to Jackie. "So, you want to meet me? You turned out to be a very courageous man." "Fine. Come quickly. Meet me at the air club." Jackie arrived at the given address. Shakal was already waiting, eyes sharp. "I wanted to know your standard," he said. Jackie stood silent. "I've heard you always know who to kill," Shakal pressed. Still, Jackie gave no answer. "You act like you're dumb," Shakal mocked. Just then, the Scorpion gang barged in. Their leader barked, "Tie them up. We'll handle this ourselves." Shakal turned to Jackie. "You already know they're criminals, don't you?" Jackie nodded. "Yes." "Then ask your question," Shakal said. "Where's my book?" Jackie demanded. "I haven't finished reading it yet," Shakal replied. "But don't trust that fat man too much. One mistake, and he'll abandon you. I'm not like that. Work with me." But Jackie's eyes told a different story. He wanted to kill Shakal. "If you work with me," Shakal went on, "your mistakes will be forgiven. In trying to do good for the world, mistakes are inevitable. Think about it tonight and give me your answer in the morning." As he turned to leave, Jackie lunged, but Shakal was ready. He hurled Jackie across the room. Then he stormed after him, slapped him hard across the face, and snarled, "I have a power. I know beforehand when I'm going to be attacked. Looking at you, I see no sense of responsibility. Maybe it's better to kill you." The Scorpion gang returned just then. Jackie slipped away in the chaos. "Brothers," Shakal mocked, "the bar is closed. Come tomorrow." But they growled back, "We've come to take you." Outside, Jackie found Jin tied up. He quickly untied his hands. As Jackie turned to leave, Jin pleaded, "Give me another chance." But Jackie, trembling, broke down in tears. "I'm so afraid." Just then, a gunshot rang out. The 7th episode began with that shot. It was fired by Shakal. He tore through the entire Scorpion gang single-handedly, beating them into submission. At the end, he forced one of the gangsters to call the chairman. "Sir," the goon lied. "He escaped through the back alley. We couldn't catch him." After the call, Shakal asked, "What did your boss say?" The man replied, "He said you must be captured alive so he can take revenge for his granddaughter's death." Shakal chuckled darkly. "So he's the grandfather of that girl from art school. You should have told me earlier." When the police finally arrived, they searched the place but found no one alive. Later, Danny was summoned to the police station. He was shown the hotel surveillance footage. In it, he recognized both Jin and Jackie outside the building. A lady officer added, "I also obtained footage of Shakal. He was sitting in a car." Other policemen canvassed the area, showing Shakal's photo. One man told them, "About an hour ago, some goons also came asking about him." High above, Shakal watched them from a rooftop, seeing both the police and the goons searching for him. When officers raided his house, they found stacks of apology letters, notes written by his victims before their deaths. Meanwhile, Jin and Jackie were planning their escape. "We'll head south," Jin promised. "Shakal won't be able to find us there." Together, they traveled to Jackie's hometown, where they obtained duplicate SIM cards under a woman's name. But that night, Jackie quietly slipped away from the house. Jackie walked quietly through the night streets, moving closer to his home. His eyes fell upon a poster pasted on a wall, his own missing notice. He froze. A few steps ahead, he spotted his mother, looking worried and restless. Keeping his distance, he followed her all the way to the church. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the city, Shakal had captured the chairman's trusted man. Brutally beating him, he demanded answers about the chairman's whereabouts. Still, the police were nowhere close to catching him. Danny, piecing things together, growled, "This scoundrel is trying to reach the chairman. Let's go there before he does." Inside the chairman's mansion, his assistant placed a call to the guards outside, instructing them not to enter the chairman's room for the next hour. But it wasn't the chairman's command. It was Shakal who had made her say it. At that moment, The old man was tied to a chair, helpless before Shakal. With a sinister calm, Shakal handed his assistant some sleeping pills. Within moments, she too slipped into unconsciousness. Outside, the guards gossiped among themselves. The old man must be mourning his granddaughter with a girl her age? Strange. Inside, Shakal's tone dripped with mockery. My friend, today I've brought your full horoscope. You're a powerful man. From petty street thugs to government officials, the whole world is in your pocket. But I know your truth. Because of the building you demolished, thousands died. And your granddaughter, she was only a victim of your greed. When the world sees the news of your death tomorrow, they'll bless the man who killed you. Shakal pushed paper and pen toward him. Write your apology. Just then, Danny stormed in. Leave the chairman! Shakal smirked, tightening his grip on the old man. His throat's punctured. If I pull him now, the air will escape. After killing him, I'll surrender, with all the evidence. Isn't that right, brother? Danny lifted his gun and fired a blank round to frighten him. Shakal laughed. You never killed anyone before, detective. Now you've come to take revenge for your father's death? What happened? Why aren't you pulling the trigger? Let me show you how to kill. And in cold blood, Shakal slit the chairman's throat. The police swarmed in and restrained him, dragging him away. Laughing, he turned to Danny. Moments later, the captain sighed bitterly. If only we had saved the chairman. My promotion is gone. Reporters will flood this place soon. When you face them, look sad, as if you tried but couldn't save him. And yes, I've ordered that your father be shifted to the police hospital. Elsewhere, Jin confided in Jackie. When I was young, robbers killed my parents. My relatives came, ate, drank, and forgot. Nobody tried to find the murderer. That day I learned, strength is needed to carry the weight of justice. But I was weak, so I decided to borrow strength from others. Back at the station, Shakal sat cuffed inside a police van. The blood in my hands is clotting, he muttered. Loosen my cuffs a little. The officers ignored him. He raised his hand slowly, pretending to struggle. One officer frowned. Loosen it a bit, he told his partner. The moment the lock clicked, Shakal lashed out, brutally attacking everyone in the van. Even the driver was stabbed, sending the vehicle careening off the road before overturning. Crawling from the wreckage, Shakal escaped into the night. The next day at the chairman's funeral, his son confronted the captain. Find the criminal who escaped your custody, find his accomplices too, otherwise your career will crumble. Later, as Jackie and Jin ate, the television flashed breaking news. The police are hunting Shakal and his two accomplices. Their own pictures appeared on screen. Panic grew. Jin visited a dentist he had once helped cover up fraud for, hoping for money. But word of the broadcast reached Jackie's sister and mother. Driving later, Jackie pulled off the road in frustration. I'm such a fool. Jin tried to calm him. I have another plan. We'll go to an Arab country, by ship, secretly. Together, they visited an agent to arrange the route, but the cost was staggering. Not long after, Jin's phone rang. He answered, expecting the dentist. Instead, Shakal's voice echoed coldly. Where are you going? The police are after the three of us. Now we're friends. You can't leave me here. Come quietly to Austin Factory. When Jackie asked, who was that? Jin lied. The dentist. Moments later, Jin pulled over on the highway. Listen, you should go alone by ship. If we travel together, we'll be caught. I'll take a bus and circle around. He left to find the bus schedule. But while he was gone, Jackie hacked Jin's phone, enabling him to track Jin's location. Then the two split. Jackie took a taxi to the port, handed over his fake passport and ID to a man, and sat in the waiting room. Searching through his bag, he found a letter. What was written inside that letter would only be revealed in the next episode. Meanwhile, Jin walked up the steps to Danny's house. Jin's voice came from the other end. I know where you can find Shakal. But Danny's face hardened. First, tell me, what were you doing at that hotel that night? Do you know how many people died because of you? Jin fired back, his voice low and bitter. You're not innocent either. You couldn't save the chairman. I came to help you. No one knows Shakal better than I do. I don't need your help, Danny cut him off. Just then, Danny's mother stepped into her husband's room, only to find Shakal already sitting there. At that very moment, Danny's phone rang again, pulling him away in a rush. The story moved to its final act. Jackie unfolded the letter Jin had left for him inside the bag. The words cut deep. I cannot go with you. I must finish my work here. In life, we are given many choices, and we must choose the right one. Whatever happened to you was my doing. Now it's my responsibility to set everything right. Jackie lowered the letter with trembling hands. Quietly, he walked away. Meanwhile, Danny arrived at the hospital, only to be met with heartbreak. His father had passed away, but his mother had survived and was out of danger. His partner placed a hand on his shoulder. Go home. We'll handle things here. But Danny shook his head. No. He walked out to his car, opened the glove box, and pulled out his gun. From the shadows of the back seat, Jin appeared. Danny's voice was sharp. Take me to Shakal. The captain hurried to him, trying to intervene. Danny, I'm sorry for what happened. Go home and rest. We'll catch Shakal. Danny gave a cold nod, started the engine, and drove off. The moment he left, other officers rushed to the captain. Sir, Danny is going after Shakal for revenge. On the road, Jin asked nervously, What are you going to do now? You won't tell Jackie anything, right? Shut your mouth, Danny snapped. I'm helping you catch Shakal, Jin insisted. After that, you can do what you want, but promise me you won't harm Jackie. Elsewhere, Jackie had stolen a car of his own, determined to track Jin's movements. Inside Danny's car, Jin tried once again. All those we killed, they were guilty. They deserved it. Danny slammed the brakes and dragged him out. Rage filled his voice. Who are you people? Do you think you're some kind of messiahs? Jin looked him in the eye. And what about you? You're going to Shakal not as a police officer, but for revenge. Eventually, Jin arrived alone at the factory where Shakal was waiting. Shakal sneered. Don't tell me you came alone. That wouldn't be fun. I know you've used some trick. If that's true, this will be very interesting. Danny entered a moment later. I knew you would come, Shakal laughed. I just didn't think it would be so soon. And this fat man is using you to catch me. Not to catch, Danny hissed, raising his gun. To kill, Shakal smirked. Your father suffered for years. I freed him from that pain. You should be thanking me. Danny leveled the barrel at him, but his finger hesitated on the trigger. Shakal mocked him. It takes courage to fire. At that instant, Jackie stormed in. Shakal's eyes lit up. He started dancing mockingly. Now the fun begins. He fired at Jackie. Everyone ducked for cover. Jackie lunged from behind, plunging a knife into Shakal's stomach. The two wrestled for the gun. Jin threw himself into the fight. Danny raised his weapon too, aiming for Shakal, but he never got the chance. In the chaos, a bullet fired, striking Jin. Jackie dropped beside him, devastated. We promised we'd leave this place together. Why did you come here? Shakal, bleeding, turned his eyes to Jackie. Tell me the truth. Did God really give you such power to know who is guilty? Are you truly different from me? Stop your nonsense, Danny barked, but Shakal's voice was steady. Danny, my son, if you kill me, what will happen to your mother? Do you think she is innocent? I don't care what my mother did, Danny growled. Just keep your mouth shut. Shakal laughed bitterly. You thought I destroyed your home? I did nothing to your mother. It was your father's friend who slept with her. If you kill me, you'll never know who truly broke your family. His eyes grew darker, his words sharper. When I was on duty, I once brought cold drinks for everyone. Your father humiliated me. I trained in wrestling, judo, boxing. I studied cases late into the night, but in his eyes, I was always a fool. One time, a woman from the canteen was flying to China. Your father gave her goods to carry for a friend. She was caught at the airport. That's when I discovered the truth. Your father hid half of the drugs he seized and later sold them for profit. When I went to him to free that woman, he washed his hands of it. He was senior, he told me, and he wouldn't interfere. That was your father. He beat me again and again. He blocked every chance for my promotion, ensuring I would never move forward in life. Finally, I grew sick of his cruelty, his corruption, his arrogance, and I broke his head. At that moment, Jackie stood silently behind Danny. His body tensed, his strange gift sending him a signal. The signal to kill Danny. Shakal sneered, his voice dripping with venom. I feel sorry for you, Danny. Your father was a corrupt policeman, and your mother, a deceitful woman. He erupted in laughter, the sound echoing through the room. Danny's rage boiled over. Jackie stepped forward, eyes blazing. Give me the gun. I'll kill him. You've never taken a life before. But before Jackie could act, Shakal pulled a knife from his own stomach and lunged at Jackie. In that instant, Danny raised his gun and fired. The shot tore through Shakal, silencing him forever. Jackie stared at the lifeless body. Taking life is not so easy, he murmured coldly. Searching through Shakal's belongings, he found his own missing book. The title glared back at him, Crime and Punishment. After Danny's father's death, the police gathered to honor him, remembering him as a true and faithful officer. Yet, among the mourners, Danny's eyes caught sight of a man, his father's so-called friend, the man who had once slept with his mother. Their eyes met briefly. The man looked away in shame. Meanwhile, James, Danny's loyal partner, slowly recovered after brain surgery. Smiling weakly, he confided in Danny, There's a nurse here I like. Once I get better, I'll propose to her. Soon after, Detective Lee confronted Danny. You've been suspended. Why didn't you appeal? If you had claimed self-defense, you could have been saved. Danny shook his head. I made a mistake, and for that, I was punished. She opened a file. We investigated. In the past 5 years, Shakal killed more than 30 people. After a long search, we found him and killed him. He also had a partner, Jin. He helped in every murder. He's dead too. From the evidence, we discovered Shakal researched his victims thoroughly before striking. We also found an arsenal of weapons. He was careful. Not a single fingerprint left at any crime scene. Her gaze narrowed. But Danny, you were following a boy named Jackie. We found no evidence against him. Why were you after him? Was he there that night? Danny's memory flashed back. Jackie, standing before him in the shadows. Jin pleading for his friend. Danny's voice that night. I'm letting you go today, Jackie. But one day you'll be caught. He told Detective Lee nothing. Then he left. Moments later, fire consumed the hideout. Flames devoured everything. Shakal's body, Jin's memory, Jackie's book. By the time the police arrived, Jackie was already gone. Snow fell softly days later. Jackie's mother returned home from church and found her husband clearing the path outside. Why did you go out in such cold weather? She asked. He looked at her puzzled. I never stepped outside. Her heart stopped. She stepped out into the snow, and she knew Jackie had been there. But Jackie's freedom did not last. Days later, the police arrested him. At the station, Detective Lee turned to Danny. We found no proof against him. Only your testimony can decide his fate. Danny looked at Jackie, and then he said nothing. Without testimony, Jackie was released. Time passed. One day, Danny walked into a shop to buy chewing gum. The TV behind the counter blared the news. The body of a man named Kim has been found. He was responsible for a brutal murder 3 years ago. Danny froze. He knew Jackie had done it. Meanwhile, Jackie wandered the dark streets. A stranger brushed against his shoulder. Instantly, Jackie's body shivered, giving him that familiar signal, the urge, the compulsion to kill. And with that, this extraordinary web series came to an end. Friends, perhaps there will be a second season. Perhaps not. If it comes, I will bring it to you. And if you enjoyed this story, support my work. Subscribe to our channel, encourage us, and we'll meet again with another thrilling web series. Until then, goodbye.